What do you say, everybody? Well, back on this old car. Look at the roof, sail panels, back into the car, the passenger quarter panel, everything stripped down. I still have yet to do my rocker panels. Of course, you see I've got some work to do. This little piece comes off, and this one's pretty much rotted away. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it or what I'll do, but we'll find out. But we'll rust treat all this stuff and pour 15 it up really good. You know, and I have my rust, surface rust to take care of through here. Excuse me. Now then, right now though, I'm going to do a little bit of body work. This is a patch from a previous video you might have seen me put in. I made that patch, turned out really nice. Made a patch right here. It turned out pretty nice. Made a patch down through here. Right here. That's going to need body work. There's a little bit of a low spot right there, I believe. And I know we got a low spot right here. There was a crease down through here that I dollied out and welded up some holes somebody had left in it and just bonded them over. So we're going to do the body work here, do the body work here. There's a place right here that has some really super old Bondo. I mean, this stuff just peels right off. I took just a little putty knife and scraped that off. So I'm glad I found that. There's maybe a little bit of an issue right here. I'm not real sure what this is. An imperfection somebody filled in. I have my extra holes there and there that I'm going to have to drill out or weld in. There's an old emblem piece sticking out right there. So I need to weld these up. That's probably the first thing I'll do. And I might have told you I'm going to go ahead and keep my Sedan DeVille emblems and just leave it as that. You know, the Park Avenue emblems, you just can't find them. You know, and I couldn't imagine the price I'd have to pay if I did. So this car isn't 100% factory original. It's not going to be, you know. So heck with it. That's the emblems I'm going to use because I have them. All right, let's get something thrown on here, and we'll check you back with you in 0.3 of a second. All right. The first layer of Duraglass. Now there was, you know, it was real super wavy right here, and there was some places that I just couldn't get to dolly it out, which I got pry bars in there and pushed it out, and at some point the car had a crease about from here and on into here, and somebody drilled holes and used a slide hammer, popped it out, and they bonded over it. Well, I welded the holes up, so that's one reason why I wanted to use this Duraglass. Want to fill it in just a little bit, so it's still quite a bit lower than it needs to be. But then we're going to go ahead and go with our Bondo now, I think. There's my other repair right there. There's like a small crease dent thing right through here, and this right here, I had some surface rust that was underneath this old Bondo. Now it's really kind of hard to see. See that black spot? That's surface rust. And I treated that with my my little vinegar trick and steel wool, and that stuff's ready to go. I'm going to put body work right on top of that. It won't ever rust through again. I've killed that rust. Now when we get to doing my window openings and stuff, and I have to do the same thing, it's a lot easier for me to set the camera up and see it. And when I get to that, I'll show you how I do it. You'll be really impressed if you haven't seen it before. It's a pretty cool deal. Anyhow, let me get some more Bondo on here. Check back with you. Alright, well, after a couple days and a couple different layers, Having a lot of trouble with this little area right here because there was a crease right through here that I'd popped out and welded up some holes where somebody had pulled out with a slide hammer, and it was full of Bondo, so I got it all. Well, it's real wavy, real wavy. Having a little bit of trouble, so I got online and ordered me a 30-inch sanding block from Durablock, but I'm impatient and it's not here yet, so look at that. Real stiff pieces of styrofoam. Happens to be just the thickness of my paper anyhow. So I cut it down, go over it, and cut the high stuff down with 36 and my longer block right there. And then to finish it off, I'm going with this, and that's showing all my high and low spots, and because right here is straight, but it's rounded a little bit. Of course, this is straight and it's rounded a little bit. We had damage here, high spots, low spots, and here's where one of my patch panels is. And I have another patch panel right here. You can kind of see that low spot, which we had a high spot here too. So you know, and of course a little dent there, a little bit of action here. There was a dent right through here, a patch panel right here on this corner, right there. So I'm working all that in, and we're getting there. Anyways, just wanted to show you my special handy free block. I guess you get a nice piece of straight 2x4, whatever works, you know. Whatever you got, use it. Alright, check back with you in a few. Alrighty, here we go. We got our quarter panel all dolled up. Took quite a bit of work. This thing was, you know, we had a low spot right here, a crease right here, another low spot here, a dent right here, another dent over here, and all this is nice and straight. This body seam, you know, I mean, it feels pretty good. Feels pretty straight. And what helped, I don't know if I showed you guys this the last time or not, but I used this piece of something. Oh, is this a flexible plastic kind of thing? And I just kind of, you know, started out and just kind of went that way a couple times with it. Once I had my basic contour, I just worked it and blocked it out. Used my air file. I used, and of course I showed you guys this. This was the trick right here. This was the saving grace. Hard styrofoam. I got 80 on one side, 40 on the other. So depending on what I was doing and where I was at, man, and I got another one in there. So I don't know. This was just a piece of something laying around at work, some kind of packaging, so I don't know where to tell you to go get one other than buy you a long sanding block, which I'll have one as soon as it gets here, but it might be too late. But I could use it on some other stuff, I'm sure. Anyhow, got the quarter panel ready for primer. Turned out pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and get everything else that I want to prime prepped up. Stripped our rocker panel, and of course, there's a pretty good crease right here. There's something here that's been fixed. That's Bondo. And if you look really close, you'll see Bondo right on top of paint. So I got to clean all that off, see what's going on here. Another spot right there. You know, there is a little spot right here. You know, like I said, it was either some crazy old woman drove this thing, or maybe even an old drunk guy, I don't know, but he decided to hit everything he come across. Doing a little bit of rust prep right here. This is where you have of course your gutter molding comes down, and then you have a great big stainless steel piece that goes and overlaps that. Screws go in through this way. Then your weather strip pops in there all the way around. So you're not ever going to see this. What's happened is water gets behind that piece of trim and sits, and causes a little bit of rust. And there's places where the trim had rubbed. I don't know if you can see that. There was a place right there where it rubbed here on the outside and actually started to rust. So I had a little rust hole right there, and it was from the outside in. So and it was good strong metal, so it was real easy just to zap, 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 fill it up and weld. I got another one here somewhere, I think is right here. So, but I've treated this with my vinegar and all that good stuff. Then what I'll do is pour 15 these areas, probably this whole upper area, just to protect it. And then of course I'll run a bead of seam sealer in between the molding or the drip rail and the inner structure, just right up inside there. You know, it's about the best thing that I can do for it, really. I can't see taking the roof off this car for this. So let me get some stuff done. Well, oh gosh, there's that guy again.
What up?
Hey, you swapped over my laundry, didn't you? Didn't I have laundry in there?
Yeah.
I checked, and I thought, oh,
Yeah.
So now you're doing laundry too.
Fucker.
You ain't mowing the grass. You might as well do something.
Yeah. I'm going to work.
You going to work?
Yeah.
Say bye, Super Dave.
Bye, Super Dave.
Alright, got a layer of Duraglass in there. There's a seam right through here that's let it in, so this rocker panel kind of is straight along to about right here, then it shoots out a little bit. Well, there's a nice little gouge right there, and then just on the back side of that too. Did this whole thing. I hope I get this little angle here just right. At least it's the same on the other side so far. I'll go by that. Some down there, a couple little places down there on the end. I'll let this set up. I'll take my cheese grater and just kind of go over it, knock down the high edges, probably run the file on it a little bit, and then get in there with some regular Bondo. Let's see. Alrighty. I see. See how that turned out. Now I still have some imperfections yet, but you know, I can feel the high spot right around through here, and it's just barely, this Bondo area is just barely low. You know, there's a little bit of a lip here just from where, you know, this little one, now look at this one. This one's done. Done. Goes from 150 over it. And a little filler here, I messed up my Bondo there apparently. And this turned out really nice. Now this rocker panel, it isn't straight. Right here where this seam is, like I was telling you, it comes out just a little bit and dives on out. So that's why when I was block sanding, I stopped right around through here. I'm trying to get that to fade in just like it is on the other side. This is not too bad right here either. Really, that's probably 150 hand block that just a little bit, and it's done. So I just got a little bit more to go. Really, little imperfections here and there, and hell, like I say, this is the way to go. You know, it's a little bit clumsy, but it sure is light. You know, I could probably use this thing all day long, but it works. Use what you got. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Alright, there we go. Bodywork's roughed in on the rocker panel on the passenger side. I used a little wire brush action, a lot of cleaning to the bottom side of it. And I have, if you look right there, there's just a little bit of surface rust right there. And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna treat that and take care of that. It's just a little, it's on the outside, you know, where the rock guard, it's not really rock guard, but it was actually undercoating, was out here all the way up and down the rocker panel. So anyhow, the rocker panel was pretty beat up, but we got her fixed up. I started dressing up and doing some prep work. I got all my wiring harnesses out, and just inside this B pillar, or half a B pillar on this car, look at that, another mouse nest. So I'm pretty sure there'll be another one over on that side right there. So really, I haven't got a whole lot left to do on the body. I'm about to strip down this rocker panel, find out what kind of surprises are in there, and I'm sure there's going to be at least a couple. You know, I gotta start prepping up all my interaction stuff, all my door jams and all that, and get them ready. Now they're probably rough enough to me to go ahead and at least put one coat of 2K primer. And I'll do 3 or 4 coats on the outside. But it's because there's going to be so much going on, so much cleaning and rust removal with some Pour 15 and rust treatment and all that stuff. I want a nice protective layer. But you know, there's a cover that goes right through here, so you're really not even going to see inside here. You know, so it's not super important, but you know, I don't want the stuff peeling off and rusting somewhere someday. So you know, so let me get some stuff done on this rocker panel, and while I'm letting some Bondo set up or do something, I'll probably start working on some of my rust spots, and maybe I'll show you how I do that. Alrighty then. Sorry about that, batteries died. I got this little cheapy camera, and you can tell my videos aren't that great, but it works, and it takes, you know, a couple little batteries, they don't last very long. Anyhow, cheap vinegar, okay? I got a squirt bottle with 3/4 vinegar and 1/4 water. I got another squirt bottle, just water. And I'm also got steel wool. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Now, this isn't my idea. People have been doing this for years and years and years. my friend Pete is actually the original one that I saw this from, and he does it a little bit different. He does it his way, I do it my way. But I'm going to squirt these rust spots down real good with my vinegar water mixture. Just let them soak just a few minutes. And I've got all kind of other places down here that I've been working on and I've treated a couple times, and I don't see there being anything wrong with treating things multiple times this way. It doesn't hurt paint, doesn't hurt Bondo, doesn't hurt your eyes, doesn't hurt anything. Anywhere I have a little bit of surface rust, I'm going to do this stuff up. Now this little track on the front glass is right behind the seal, and the dash pad goes here. Well, what happens is dew from inside the windshield comes down, ends up working its way down in here. So I have just a couple little places in there with some surface rust. Not too much over here. Okay, I got that back window. And I haven't treated any of this yet on this side. We're just going to soak that down. You know, any kind of surface rust. And I don't care if it's even pretty rough rust. You know, if you can wire brush the crap out of it, get all the loose stuff out of it, I think it's a lot better than not doing nothing at all. And you can see a difference. So we'll look at this as our little control area. Okay, on top of this cowl, because it's easy to see. And I'll get a light on it when we get done. And you'll see what this does. Now once I get it all soaked down, I get a piece of steel wool. Now you can use some emery cloth. You can use Scotch-Brite, whatever you want. In particular, I like using steel wool. And I'm going to tell you why, and you're going to think I'm crazy. But for centuries, well, I'm going to say centuries, for a really long time, people have been making wood stain out of vinegar that's been soaked with steel wool in it, like overnight. You put it on wood, it'll turn the wood silver. You just let it soak on there, it turns the wood silver. And what it does, what it is there's a chemical reaction with this metal that's in my hand, the metal that's in the rust, and that's why the vinegar works. That's why I believe in it. I built an electric guitar, and I was wanting to try different kind of homemade stains, and it turned that mahogany body absolutely silver. It made it look like it was 200 years old, been sitting out of the sun for that long, because of the actual steel that was in the vinegar. So I'm getting this stuff just wherever, you know, wherever I want to. It's just not going to hurt anything. And we're going to let it soak 25, 35, 45 minutes. Then we'll come back and show you. Now I'm probably going to do this a couple times. Squirt some more on it, keep on scrubbing it. Squirt some more on it, keep on scrubbing it. And then while I've let it in the soak, I'm going to finish DA-ing my body here. I want to have this thing basically prepped for primer. All I got to do is finish up a few things and mask it off, clean it off, and prime it. So let me get right back with you here this evening and we'll check out what our rust looks like. Alright, there we go. This is after a couple of treatments. You kind of see the color of it. That was just raw metal, and if you look, you see the little spot of rust there, and it's really hard to tell in this lighting. It's just not very good. Little spot of rust there. That stuff turns black. Let me see if I can I did a couple of treatments of this. It kind of looks like heck now, but you can see right in here, that's minor surface rust, and it's black. A lot of that's just raw, bare metal, but this turned black. So what I'll do, rinse this stuff off real good, clean it up, and then I'll wipe it down with my alcohol, clean it all up really good again, dry it up, and then I'll thin out just a little bit of .415 and go right through this whole channel probably. I want it to be thin because I don't want to add a bunch of extra thickness to this, because then I'm going to scuff it up, scuff the .415 up, prime right over top of it, paint over top of it, and it's going to be a done deal. Just like you've seen me do in some other places. So and that stuff will just come right off. Let's see if I can. There we go. See that? The spot of rust right there. It's black. There's a lot of this red stuff, that's primer. Well, that right there, that was surface rust. It's black. It's dead rust. And the thing is, I could spend a whole lot of time grinding down the metal to just get rid of the rust physically, but then of course you end up having thin metal issues, or burning through, or great big nasty gouges that I have to fill in, and all that kind of stuff. And this is the way for me to go with this car, particularly. If it was some super high dollar restoration and you could get all these parts, then you just cut them out and replace them. But that's just not the case in this case. We're going to preserve and restore, and this car will last longer than the rest of my lifetime, and probably my kids' last lifetime, before you ever see any of this rust come back. Just like in any car, I don't care what you do with the rust, it's probably going to come back. Alright, let me get this cleaned up, and I'll show it after I get it .415, and hopefully this weekend we'll prime this thing and we'll end this video.
How you doing, everybody? Well, I've about got this thing scuffed down. I've got it down to 80 grit D8 all the way around. You can see some of my rust treatment inside here. Okay, the black stuff is mostly just pour 15. Sand it down to where it's almost all the way gone. I found just a couple of little things that look like surface rust right there. Treated that, and I'll sand it down to where the pour 15 is just about gone, just like I will here. And what'll be left is the rust the rust that has just a little bit of pitting to it. That's where the pour 15 will be left behind, sealing that up and all that. Of course, after I prime it and before I paint it, I'll run my seam sealer down through here. There's supposed to be seam sealer in here. So it's getting there. It's sure getting there. So we're about close to have this thing primed. I just got a little bit more time put into this. I'm trying not to be in a hurry. I want to be done with this part because I got so much work to do right here. These doors. You see that door? There you go. Alright, let me see what I can get done. Alrighty. We're getting ready to prime this. What I plan on doing is doing one decent coat in all the jam area, only because of some of the rust treatment and stuff like that, and then I'll have to scuff it up with 320. Up inside here and all that stuff. Then I'll do 3 coats on everything that hadn't been primed. 1, maybe 2 on this one. That's where I used the wrong spray nozzle and got a little heavy and it blocked out really super nice. Like that right there. You can't feel that. You can see it, but you can't feel it. So I'm getting ready to mix up some Matrix MP3 HS high build. I got the hardener ready. I got a measuring cup. I got a mixing cup. I've got a model Ching Chang Chow. It's a big tip. It's a big tip. It seemed like it's got really good reviews, believe it or not, but it's made in Tangnao. I don't know, wherever that is. So I've got this ready to go. I've got my mask ready to go. Got my air pressure turned down on that little regulator right there, and we're just going to go for it. We're going to go for it and get a coat on here, and I'll show it to you. Well, there we go. I had a little trouble with another gun I'd bought and thought would work out just right. It worked great for spraying down this way, but if you had to spray up, it wouldn't spray nothing. So I'm doing something wrong, I imagine, whatever. I went to my second best gun, and I don't know, I think that's just the one I'm going to use. The old cheapy siphon gun. And I did just put maybe not even 5% reducer in this. It just wouldn't flow out. It didn't matter, even with the big tip gun, when it was spraying, it just wouldn't flow out at all. And maybe it's not going to, and maybe I'm being too picky, but it looks pretty good just like that. So I just put a touch of reducer in it to get it to flow out. And it could be the can of paint that I got is old and maybe thickened up or something, I don't know. But I've got basically 1 coat inside the jams. I did double coat these because when you open the door you can see that. I'm going to sand them down and they'll look really super nice. These 2, a little bit of course there's 3 coats just on this top edge right here where you see it too. Close to 4 coats on both quarter panels. That's so much work done to them. I want a little help in leveling things out. Like this body line right there, it looks pretty dang straight. Now this is the side that had the big crease in it right there. Great big crease, and the crease went up into the body line and kind of waved around, and I really spent a lot of time working on that, so I'm pretty pretty happy with it. But the block sanding will show the truth for sure. Anyway, there it is. So next thing is move this stuff out of the way. All this stuff, I got parts, I got some shingles over here I'm saving, and some lumber and all that. Now, the lumber might stay, but then the shingles, they're going to have to go storage outside somewhere, and move these fenders. And sorry for the interruption. Had a little dog escapee. It's all good. We're good. But look at all this. Yep, I'm pretty happy with it. Turned out nice. I'll really be able to tell when I block it all out, but I'm very, very, very happy and proud of myself at the moment. So anyhow, all this body work, all this primer is going to shrink, so I'm not in a hurry to block it. I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way because this is my next project right here. And these rotten ass fenders, are going to be, I'm going to tell you what, they're going to be rough. But I'm going to get her done. We're going to fix it. Be done with it. Make them right. So all that down there, a little rusty area, and Bondo. That right there is Bondo. Anyhow, push the car over here against this wall, and whatever side the car is facing that way, that's the back door I'll start. I'll get the back door done, get it in primer, get it on the car, the body lines lined up, get the next door done, and get the fender done. Then I'll turn the car around and do blah 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 on the other side. Then we're gonna, before we paint the car, pull the engine and transmission out, reseal all that, get it all prettied up and painted, paint the firewall, paint my cowl black, get that back together. Then we'll jam everything out and get this thing ready for some paint. Get this thing put back together. I'm working on another little project for the home hobby shop, so it's not that I'm in a big hurry to get this done, but it's quite a bit more exciting. It's really pretty exciting, so we'll see if it works out. If it doesn't, another thing will work out, so that's why I'm not going to tell you. Anyways, thanks everybody, thanks for sharing and subscribing, liking, commenting, whatever. If you want to ask me anything I'm doing here, ask me. You know, I'm not a professional at this. I just have a good time at it. I've watched and listened and learned a whole lot. So thanks everybody. We'll see you on the next one.